The 7th. That's a lucky day, right? The 7th? Questions?
Hi, my name is Barbara, and my family and I have lived here 3 years. I have a question about how do we vote for you? Yes. I'm registered voter, but how do I vote for you? And I have another question before you leave. How can we synchronize the traffic signals? I did not set this up. I did not set this up. How you vote for me is you're a registered voter, okay, in Texas. And so you go to City Hall starting Monday all the way through May 3rd. It's at City Hall. Voters is open 7:45 to 5 every day except Tuesday, which is a 12-hour voting day, which is 7 to 7. And that is for people who work who can come afterwards to vote. That's Tuesday. Then the regular election is May 7th at City Hall again. And we have our own voting machines. It is not the county. So it's the old-fashioned voting that you go in and the votes are watched. Doris Spears, our city secretary, and she will be right there. We also are asking for assistance on poll watching and being there during the early voting times and on election day. And so you go in and you cast your ballot. You will have 2 city council races, 1 mayor race, and 2 state amendments. One of those amendments is to raise our tax exemptions for anyone over 65 from $25,000 to $40,000. Now, some of that doesn't affect y'all, but so that lowers some of our property taxes. And then I think the other amendment is about being able to freeze school taxes. Right now, the school taxes are not frozen for people over 65, but to put a limit and a freeze on a school tax. And so that's the other state amendment that you would be voting on. So that's how you vote for me. Now, Main Street, yes. You will need your driver's license or your voter's registration card. And so that is what you would need if you have a driver's license that shows that you live in the city. Only the 13 square miles of the city can vote for the city officials. The school district of Tomball is 83 square miles, and it goes into Montgomery County and Harris County. But only the 13 square miles vote for city elections. So every vote counts. Because remember, the average age now is 36. And a lot of young families are not registered or are registered, but really don't know either party. And so that's why we're trying to get the word out, and we have lots of ways for you to spread the word with the fans, and we have postcards and going to the website, and we're going to have the breakfasts and the lunches that people can come and talk to us, and then we also may be knocking on your door. So, you would go on to the website, LoriKleinQuinnForMayor. Leonard, is that correct? He designed it. So, and Alexis can post it out on Facebook and contact. But it's LoriKleinQuinnForMayor. And there is a place on my website to contact me, to ask for a sign, to say I want to be help with the campaign. We're also getting ready to do phone calling, where we have the voters list and we want to call people to remind them to vote. Every vote counts. Exercise your right to vote. And so it's reminded to please vote, and please vote for me, for mayor. So we need help with that too.
Did you talk to her?
The red lights, I'm coming now. The red lights. I'm sorry. I want to make sure you knew exactly how to vote. Okay. One of the things that was brought up on the road when we talked about it is that we don't need medians, and what we need is hawks. They're called pedestrian traffic lights. You have them all over in different cities. You walk up to the corner, you push the button, it turns red, you cross the street on the crossway, and then they're blinking yellow after that. And those can be synchronized with the lights downtown. So that is part, we talked with the engineer. I've already talked with the engineer and said, can this be done? He said, yes, it can be done. We can synchronize pedestrian traffic lights with the lights downtown. But we really want them, right, we want them from Four Corners all the way. You can synchronize downtown Houston. You can certainly synchronize Tomball. And I don't understand why my first answer to that was, oh, that can't be done. Yes, it can. Again, together, we can pretty well do anything. It's just using your voice to let people know, and counsel, the people you elect, what you want. So, yes, it's one of the things that I am trying to get done. Yes?
At that town hall meeting, there was also discussion of down at Four Corners that they were going to get rid of that curve and make everybody come to a full stop all four ways and take away that curve that's in front of whatever.
Burger King curve.
Anyway, and ever since that meeting, and I have driven through Four Corners and made that curve, I thought, they better not get rid of it. I mean, that's a trailer, just a regular old trailer, flat bed trailer. We didn't do that turn last night because they missed the curve, and he was into the two-turn lane trying to get it.
Right. It is a problem because there's two things. You know, roundabouts, a lot of America now is putting in roundabouts. And we were driving the other day and it was, you know, this is a pretty cool half roundabout. It speeds up that area. What happens is Alma comes into that curve. And I would really like to see that curve stay, but every TxDOT traffic pattern study that they have done, they don't like roundabouts and they don't like the curve. But what will happen is if Alma is cut off where you can only turn right and not come across that curve, because that's the place we have had our only death in 10 years. On 2920 is at Alma when someone tried to come out and turn left across the traffic to get to Four Corners, and someone coming around the curve hit him. And so that is what TxDOT is looking at, is that is where the only death was. But I agree, as part of the Four Corners negotiations there, right now they are all adamant about taking the curve and then having Alma one way going to, you can only turn right at Alma. But if we fix Alma that way, why do we have to move the curve? Because it does speed up traffic there, and it's really hard for large trucks and trailers to turn at Four Corners without some major construction there. David?
I have a question for Diane. Have you served on any boards?
Thank you, David. I was supposed to tell you guys that. It's hard for me to brag. I'll be honest with you. I don't like talking about myself. David jumped me about it when we had the forum. You didn't tell them that you served. We moved to Tomball in 2000. 2003 or 4, I was on the Parks and Recreation. And we served on that for 2 or 3 years. Then we started the original zoning. This is when they started bringing in consultants to talk about zoning. We were going to let the citizens vote for zoning. That's the way we thought about doing it. It's the way I was told. But then I got moved to Scotland. And while I was in Scotland, zoning was passed by the city council because they could do that. And so they passed zoning then. When we come back from Scotland, I liked serving on committees and deals, so I did the Board of Adjustments for 3 years. After that, I left the Board of Adjustments and I went back to planning and zoning. And I've been on planning and zoning the last 3 3 terms, I guess it is. So 8 years, or 6 years, I don't remember how many it is right now. But and that is a non-binding, all we do is we listen to it, we sound off, we tell them our, thoughts, what we think should happen, and then the city council is one that makes the decision. Planning and zoning has no authority whatsoever. So, again, I'm not a politician. I just had too many people asking me to try this, and so we're going to try it. And something I wanted to bring up also about the voting. On the Saturday that they have the election, they're having a festival downtown. So that's when they're having the Brews and Bugs, or whatever it's called, Bugs and Brews festival down there. So it's going to be hard for you guys to get down there and vote. So try to vote early. I tell you to vote early and often, but I don't think that's legal anymore.
And also, the boards you were on, you were only on one board at a time. That's right, and that's the way it should be. Yes.
This is for Jane. Oh gosh, Jane, tell me the story about Monday night on the PDs with what happened.
No, that's mudslinging, and
It's not mudslinging. It's the truth. Anybody can go look at it. You don't want to tell Lori will, I'm sure. Well, where they stood up there and said that we've listened to the people now, which is the first time I've ever heard them say that we're listening to the people. And now they said, we don't need any more small lots. We've got, and I don't know, your different numbers, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, whatever it is.
3,500.
We've got plenty of it, okay? And they finally, somebody said, we're listening to the people. And the current council stood up and said, no, we're not going to vote for this, and voted it down because they're listening no matter what happens.
That's right.
They're listening to these two right here because they're making them listen.
Again, I'm not talking bad about anybody, but he's exactly right. They're using our words in ads. They're using our words. We want term limits. We both. If you've been at the forum, that's the first thing that come out of my mouth. Is term limits. We need them for all elected officials. You guys know what happens when Congress and everyone else goes in there. They become rulers. They don't just become listening to us. Now, what they told me was, because I brought this up to David Esquivel, our city manager, and Doris said that had to be voted on by the people. I don't think there's a one of you that wouldn't vote for term limits if we can get it put on a ballot sometime. And that's what we're going to shoot for, is trying to get it put on the next time the ballot comes out to get term limits.
In the city, there's 12,000 people in the city, and I think we have about 8,000 registered voters. And unfortunately, in the Trump election, even in the Trump election, there was only 5,500 that voted. So we do not have a large percentage of even the 13 square miles that actually vote. And that's why every vote will count. Every vote will count. And I was excited, but I thought that you were going to talk about is that being on council for 8 years, the votes for development, there's always a 3-2, 4-1. It's stacked more for development. But Monday night, first time ever happened in 8 years, all 5 councilmen voted down. It wasn't just a couple of us, voted down a dated weekly subdivision of 200 homes on 70 acres, 4,500 to 4,950 square foot lots, under 5,000 square foot lots. And for the first time that has happened, we do have a lot of small lots, 5,000 and 6,000, they're needed. But that particular location and that development was not what Tomball needed. And it was going to be a 2978 next to Baker Hughes. And it's going to be across from Wintry Estates, which is a 55 and over retirement community. And so there's supposed to be some amenities, But when that came up before council, that's the first of its kind that we have had in town. It's not a Del Webb, but it's a 55 and over, with amenities and communities and things to do, walking paths, swimming pools. And so I asked my husband, I said, you know, we are empty nesters. This is a lot to maintain. Nobody there. So, and he said, it's not going to be those big lots. That place is a swamp, and the infrastructure is going to cost a fortune, and he was right. The lots have gotten smaller. Still is a 55 and over, but they've put a lot more houses in there and cut some of the amenities in order to make the profit margins, because that area had so much water in it. But that is coming in, but all council voted against it, having that, and that's the first time that's happened since I've been on council. I don't know how long it's been. And we're beginning to have controlled development, which is what we've been preaching for months. So.
You had some questions?
You were saying that you want to listen to the people.
Yes.
The people should be able to ask questions and everything. Is it still acceptable? I haven't been to a council meeting in years. Is that a good place to go? Is there open forum there?
Yes.
Right. We both have ideas on that. You can come to any council meeting and sign up to speak 3 minutes about any topic you want to talk about, whether it's on the agenda or not. Anytime. Council meetings are twice a month, the first and the third Monday, and you can come and sign up to speak about anything for 3 minutes. Council cannot ask you anything. Council cannot say anything to you, and you get 3 minutes. So that is one way to communicate. The other way that I think we need to be communicating is, you know, when you're in business, there are companies that you can hire for your employees to put their comments, their questions, their complaints, whatever, with no retaliation. And I think something like that needs to be set up for the city of Tomball. Some people are afraid to speak out because they're afraid of what may happen. And so we need to have, I just would call it hiring one of these companies that said, you can speak about anything. You can say anything you want, and no one will know that it's you unless you want them to. It needs to be more open communication with no retaliation. And then Dane had a good idea.
I've actually talked to the city about this already, but I think every quarter we need to have a typed up of what's happened the past quarter by the city and what's going to happen coming up the next quarter, and put it in the utility bill. Just put it in there. Most of us still get a utility bill. It might be trash, it might be sewer, water, all of the above. But just stick it in there each quarter, and then people know, hey, I probably need to go down and listen to this when they talk about this. And I've already talked to David Esquivel about this also, and he liked the idea. So I'm hoping that'll get put in place.
Good idea.
Is that something that could be made available? Is that something that could be made available on a website somewhere?
It could be,
If
yes.
if you live within the city limits, but you pay a boatload in school taxes because you live in Montgomery County and TISD, I mean, we don't get a say in what happens, but certainly everything that happens within the city limits affects us. And it would be nice for there to be a place where we can go and see those things as well. Because I don't get a utility bill from the city, but, you know, it would be nice to see.
Well, that's something that we'll have to discuss, because you and I.
The central location would be still.
She's under 36. Way under 36. But, yes, we need to have it on the websites, social media. That also needs to be published. But for those of us who don't go to social media all the time, it works me in the electric bills, water bills. So yes, that needs to be posted. And the agenda is posted every Friday night, by Friday at 5 before the Monday. So before Monday council meetings, they post the agenda, and then they post the agenda packet, which could be anywhere from 30 to 300 pages. and then that weekend you study it, and then Monday you can come to council. That is what Dane's talking about, of being summarized,
Are those legal postings?
Yes, those are legal postings on our website, on the city's website.
Do each of the boards within the city have to legally post?
We have our
minutes
agendas,
or agendas or
The agendas have to be posted. City council also posts the minutes, but none of the boards post the discussions, and that's where the real meat is, and that's what needs to be published.
Does the Economic Development Board fall under that same requirement?
Okay. Yes, they post their minutes. They post their minutes on the website. Well, they post their agendas on the website. The minutes are not posted, but however, on the agendas, a lot of the work sometimes is under closed session. And so closed session is executive session, so you don't know what it is. So a lot of the decisions are under executive session.
We can see that on their website too.
You can't see what's discussed in executive session, whether it's council or TEDC, but you can see what's on the agenda, and you'll see if they go into something. And sometimes, I guess, depending on what it is, it needs to be a special session, but there's usually a special session every meeting. So. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you very much. We have our numbers. Dane's got his number. My number is 281-351-5676. I've got a recorder. It was actually my grandmother's number, so we kept the landline. So, but call on anything. You can reach us on email. You can reach us on our websites. Alexis runs our social media, so she does the Facebook and the LinkedIn, and then she tells me what it says, so it's good. But thank you so much. Please vote. Vote for Lori and Dane. Your vote is important. It counts. And tell your friends, anyone who's in the city limits. And where is Lucas? There he is over there. Lucas, let's give him a standing ovation. You did a great job. Great job.